What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Just an Era podcast. This week, I'm going to give you 10 top tips to have a hot girl fall. I know some other areas in the country have already hit fall, but I'm in Texas, okay? It's still like 90 degrees on a daily basis, but it's starting to get a little bit colder during the morning. So I'm very excited to dive into my top 10 tips to a hot girl fall. I know there's a lot of trends and things to follow along on, but like honestly, like these are just things that aren't necessarily trendy. I will say there are some that are trendy, but some of them not so much. These are things that you can do honestly every year for fall. Anyways, housekeeping, making sure you're following Just an Air podcast. I did that giveaway last week. Shout out to the girl that actually won. I gave her the giveaway in person, and it was just nice to meet, like, it's nice meeting followers and supporters out in person. So I think I want to do more Austin local things. I might try to do an event coming up as things start to get a little bit more calm and people are going to school. I feel like I have a big audience that goes to UT too, so having them back in school is nice. So be on the lookout for that. But anyways, let's get into it. My weekly error this week is I'm a sweet red wine girly. Okay. I went to the wineries this week and I tried all the wines possible. I truly thought that I liked all wines, red, white, sweets, blend, whatever. But then I realized after just comparing a lot of them and actually doing wine tastings that my favorite is a sweet red. Now, will I get sick of a sweet red if I have like 5 glasses of it in one day? Yes, it's gonna be too sweet for me, but I've just come to the conclusion that white wines are just not my thing. I like red wines and specifically the red ones that taste like raspberries, berries. Oh, it was so good. I honestly can't remember the name of the one that we got, but I just know red and sweet wines on the menu. I'm getting it. Sign me up. And then my purchases for this week are 2 board games. I am in my board game era, if you will. And I got Scrabble. Me and my boyfriend Nick were playing Scrabble last week. I actually beat him. I don't know if I talked about this last week, but he's an engineer. He's a smarty pants. And here I am, living my best life as a content creator. And I beat him in Scrabble. Me and him are so competitive. So when I like won, I was like, "Ha ha, how's it feel? Like you're the engineer, you should be the smarty pants. I win. Like you should know bigger words than me. Ha ha, stinks for you. I won by like 50 freaking points." I used to play Scrabble growing up with my family. You know, obviously living in Massachusetts, we would have snowstorms and all that stuff. So like grew up off board games all the time. So we had Scrabble and my family was very competitive with Scrabble. And my brothers, I hate to say it, but my brothers are very, very smart, specifically the middle brother, Zach. And I just remember I kind of had to stop playing Scrabble because he was so good at it and he would always beat me and I hated it. So it felt good beating my boyfriend. Anyways. And then the other game that I love, it was Code Names. Basically, this game is you can do it 1v1 or up in teams, but one of our friends brought it to the Fredericksburg and we played games a lot. So basically what this game is, code names, is you can break up into teams. We did girls against guys, and you have a whole like I would say there's 25 words on the board. And you have to try to knock them out, kind of like similar to Battleship, but the person that's knows where the bomb is, quote for quote, has to only give you it's so hard to explain, honestly, guys. And I feel like I'm not gonna do a good job of explaining it, but I would definitely recommend looking into getting it. The game's like $15 on Amazon. It is so much fun. Honestly, go to TikTok and ask for a tutorial on how to play the game. I bet you'll find one. Anyways, weekly catch up, weekly rants. My first weekly rant is I just made a TikTok about this, but the carnivore diet. Okay. As you guys know, I am not one that is for the trends and hopping on diets and, yo-yo dieting. And I, for the first time, tried the carnivore, not diet, but the carnivore plate, if you will, with the steak, the egg, the avocado. I have to say, it was fire. It was fire. Will it be something that I have every now and then? 100%. But I just want you all to know that if you are seeing the carnivore diet go crazy right now, people with the catch lines of, I lost 30 pounds in a month or blah, 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 I haven't been bloated in XYZ. Just know that the only reason that that's happening to them is because they're actually following some type of diet. It's strict, but they're actually eating protein, they're actually eating whole foods, and that's why they're seeing the results. You don't need to stick to a certain diet and be super restrictive on yourself in order to see those types of results. If you just eat whole foods, eat enough protein, and don't think about food and be so consumed by it, I promise you, you will see the results. So that's just my little tangent for the day. I hope like I'm like one of those creators for you guys or anybody that's struggling with food or anything that like I want to be your comfort creator that you can like go to and know that like, oh my God, this girl is eating whatever she wants. She's living her best life. Like she looks amazing. And I want to be that person for you guys, but also I'm like, I'm gonna blast those fucking stupid diets. Like, you don't need to be living life diet by diet. Live life knowing that, hey, 20, 30 years from now, I want to be living the same intuitive lifestyle that is healthy and attainable for longevity. Okay. So think about that when you are doing certain things in your life. Um, my next little thing is I saw on TikTok the insurance scam video. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it. The video right now has like 50 million views. But basically, this poor girl, luckily she has two dash cams. She's a dash cam in the front, dash cam in the back. She lives in New York and she's just driving on the highway. She's on the phone with her boyfriend and she's driving. This car cuts her off and purposely puts on his brakes. Now, the girl driving luckily didn't even hit the car initially, but then the car just goes right into reverse and backs right into her on the freeway. And then the people get out of the car and they're taking photos, acting like, "Oh my god, this person's in the fault. They rear-ended us." And then they fucking skirt off from the scene when they realize that she has a dash cam. I was, like, mind blown when I saw that. The amount of insurance scams that are actually out there is wild, wild to me, okay? So just be fucking safe out there, and honestly, after seeing that video, I wanna get a dash cam just for myself because, as you guys know, I got in a little bit of an accident a few months ago, and I'm like, "Holy shit," like, this stuff happens. And not that this is my place to really talk about this, but my neighbor who just moved into his house moved from another city to Austin, hired a moving company with a truck, put all of his stuff into the truck, and obviously trusted that it would get here because it was like a company that, people have referred him to. This truck driver not only disappeared, like stole the truck, and stopped being in contact with the moving company, but also stole and sold everything that was in that truck. So now my neighbor had to file something on insurance and is getting like over $30,000 um from insurance to get like all brand new things, but he literally has nothing to his name right now. But I'm like, it's just wild how many people just like mess with the system or mess with like insurance. It's like mind boggling to me. But anyways, that's my little rant on that insurance thing. Insurance is fucking expensive. And then my last thing, actually, no, I'm not even gonna talk about that because it's stupid. But anyways, let's get into my weekend recap. Okay, you guys know I went to Fredericksburg. If you've been following along on my Instagram, it's a we did a 2-day trip. I did Friday and Saturday. Fredericksburg is about an hour and 45 minutes outside of Austin, Texas. I invited 2 other couples to come out. Um, it was honestly the perfect weekend I could have ever asked for. I had so much fun. Friday, before we even got out there, I had to go to a Raising Cane event, which was a lot of fun. It was basically just the behind the scenes of watching them, shoot for a commercial, and then that commercial was gonna be put into the football games. It was just so cool. The experience was awesome. But because of that, I was there for I think like 4 hours and I had not even packed for Fredericksburg, so I was like low key freaking out. And the like event planner, she was like, "You can leave whenever you want." I'm like, "Oh my god, thank God," because like I literally need to still go home and pack. And went home, packed real quick, and went to the grocery store to pick up a bunch of groceries for the trip. Fredericksburg, yes, there are a bunch of restaurants, but one thing to know when you're going out to Fredericksburg is everything shuts down basically around 6 p.m. like every night. So we decided to do um, home cooked meal Friday night. I went to Trader Joe's and I just got all like pre-seasoned things just to make my life easier because the last thing I want to do when you're traveling is like packing up seasonings and oils and all that stuff. I did pack up a few of those things just because we would need them for breakfast the next morning, but we did some Greek bowls. They were so good. We did the chicken shawarma pack from Trader Joe's with some tzatziki, rice. I made some veggies in the oven. It was delicious. Initially, we were gonna have all the girls cook, but me and Nick ended up getting there way before everyone else just because I had to film content of the house because I actually got invited out to that Airbnb. I have a mutual friend that owns it, so he was like, "Hey, come on out, get some content for me." I was like, "Okay, slay, I'll do that for you." And so did that, and then we ended up started cooking the food. The one thing I will say about, like, A-frames homes, they are so cool. They are the most gorgeous thing ever, but they're just not practical to live in, like, long term, if that makes sense. Like, everything is a little bit smaller, if you will. Like, because of the way that, like, the angle of the roof is and the limited cabinetry and storage and everything. Gorgeous place, amazing, could stay there for a week, 2 weeks if I could, but just like I said, it's not practical for, like, long-term living. Anyways, so had dinner and pretty much played games all night. We played that, Codename game. We brought Deal with us, and we just drank wine all night. I had them stop at the store on the way over to grab some wine because I was like, "Fuck, I got all the groceries but forgot to get wine. That's my bad." So they got the wine, and we literally, for 6 people total, had 6 bottles of wine. Some of you may be like, "That's not even a lot," but to me, I'm like, "That's a lot." Like, that's a lot of wine. I personally can only have, like, 2 glasses, like, I can't have a full bottle of wine. So that's pretty much like a bottle per person. As you can tell, we were probably hammered. Yes, we were hammered. And played games until, like, 1 in the morning, laughing it up, listening to music, playing games, like, it was just the most ideal Friday night could have asked for. And then went to bed, woke up that morning, and I was like, "Shoot, I got a little bit of a hangover, but we're gonna power through because I do need to go on my run." We are on week 3 of my marathon training, and luckily, my Saturdays, I set myself up for success. My short runs are on Saturdays, so all I had to do was 3 miles, and you know what? I was doing it through the hill country, like, it was gorgeous. I was running past some ranches, some cows I saw. I saw deers running through the woods, like, on their own, but I honestly was a little bit scared of because I was like, "Oh my god, if this deer gets spooked by me and starts, like, running at me, I'm gonna I don't know what I'm gonna do, okay?" So I was kinda on edge when I was on my run, but it was still gorgeous. And then came home, we played pickleball for a little bit because the Airbnb actually has pickleball on the side of the yard. There's also a hot tub, there is cornhole, there's just so much to do on the actual property, like, I coulda stayed there all day, but everyone else was like, "Let's get some cardio in for pickleball," and I was like, "Okay, well, I already went on a run, but I'll still play." We did, like, a little tournament style, and, of course, me and my boyfriend won, as we should. That's one thing about me, like, if I'm gonna be in a relationship with anyone, like, it needs to be a power couple relationship. We both need to be very athletic and winning things and very competitive. Now, when we team up together and play against people, it's fine. But the second me and him start playing games against each other, uh-oh, uh-oh. We are putting the relationship on the line. No, I'm kidding. But no, we get very competitive with each other and we will scream at each other and get angry. But it's all fun and games. All fun and games. And then so because at Fredericksburg pretty much shuts down at like 6 p.m., we started off at our first winery at 1 o'clock. It was well worth it because we had ourselves a day. Okay. So we went to the Edge, which is a mix of like a brewery and winery, like vibe wise. They have a bunch of TVs, they have a projector with football playing. So like it was amazing. The boys were obviously needing football. The food on the other hand was not the best. I got a salad thinking it was gonna be like a nice fresh salad. It was literally in a to-go box. It was a to-go box salad that had probably been sitting in the fridge for at least 12 hours. It was disgusting, but you know what? You win some, you lose some. I will say the cheese board was loaded up. It says on the menu it's only meant for 4 people. There were 6 of us. We got the cheese board. It was huge. For the price we got, 30 bucks. Huge cheese board. Then the Edge actually has a lot of, like, things to do. So they got football, they got a mini putt-putt course, they have cornhole, a whole, like, outdoor area. There's a pool, like, all these sorts of things outside. But we were sitting inside for the most of it because there was live music going on, and honestly, everyone seemed to be inside. And what we did as couples, was each couple picked a bottle. So I picked a red, someone else picked a white, someone picked a sweet wine, and we just were doing one bottle at a time. So we would open one bottle and everyone would get a glass of it. And then once we finished that bottle, we would go on to the next bottle. And so that's what we kind of did as our quote for quote wine tasting because the wine tasting was $30 and all you got was 4 1-ounce glasses of wine, which is not even equivalent to a full glass for $30. So we're like, we might as well just get the full bottle and everyone get a different bottle and we can all do the wine taste together, all drink the same wine at once and, be like not food critics or wine critics, if you will, and talk about the wine and like if we liked it, whatever. We were just being like super snobby, like, oh, like this wine's sweet, this one, this blah 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 blah. So that was a good way to do it because even the waiter said to us after, like, "Wow, we've actually never seen anyone do this, but this is probably the smartest way to go about it if you don't wanna do the tasting." And we're like, "Really?" Like, I feel like that was common sense to do it that way if we wanted to all get it. Because he was like, "No, usually people will just open every single glass or every bottle at once that they order and just kind of do a free for all." And I was like, "No, we wanna all experience all the wines together. That's the whole point of a wine tasting, isn't it?" So, that was great. Stuck there for honestly like 2 to 3 hours, and then we went over to the Rhinery. The Rhinery is basically a winery with a rhino. Now, I thought there was gonna be a billion rhinos running around, but to my knowledge, after getting there, it's just one rhino. His name is Blake. And you guys, I learned so much about Blake because I asked the waitress so many questions. She was probably like, this drunk girl needs to quit it. But basically, he is 6 years old. Male rhinos do not socialize or don't even want to socialize pretty much with any other rhino unless they are mating, and they do not start the mating process until they are 7 or 8 years old. So they're gonna get another rhino, but they're gonna get a female rhino, and then they're gonna also do an add-on with a nursery in the back of the ranch for when they do, mate and have a baby. I was like, oh my God, I need to come back in 2 years and meet Blake's, lady and his future baby. Like, this is amazing. And I was like, oh, do they rhinos get the zoomies? And she was like, yes, they get the zoomies. And you know what? We got shit out of luck because the second we got there and I went to go over to say hi to Blake, he was taking a nap. He even farted in my face. I was like, "Oh, you sassy motherfucker." Farted in my face, laid down, and was just giving us the side eye the whole time. And honestly, when I saw him like that, I was like, "Oh my God, wait, he hates it here. Like he hates being in like locked up in this thing." But I guess to my knowledge, he loves it. He gets the zoomies all the time. He's running around playing with all his toys. And I was like, fuck, like I really wish I got to see that. I want to see a rhino with the zoomies. Like, are you kidding? But he was so cute. I wanted to like hug him. I wanted to just like put my entire body just like around him as much as I could because he was massive. And just pet him because he was adorable. But yeah, so Rhinery shut down at 6 o'clock, and at that point, we hadn't really had dinner at this point, so it was 6 o'clock, and we're like, "Fuck, what do we do?" We're asking the waitresses. We're like, "What is going to be open downtown still?" She's like, "Not really a lot. There's a barbecue place and like a few other places that she mentioned." And we were just like, "None of that sounds appetizing at all." And I remembered, I was like, "Guys, wait! I literally have frozen Dino Nugs and mozzarella sticks at the house. We should have those for now, and then order some Uber Eats." So we ended up just going all the way back to the Airbnb, sat outside on the deck, played some board games. I cooked up the appetizers, if you will, and we had those for a little bit, and then we ended up getting Whataburger, guys. Whataburger out in Fredericksburg, and it was literally the only thing that was available. So, if you're gonna go to Fredericksburg, make sure you bring enough food to cook on Saturday and Sunday night if you're not gonna be going out for dinner. Seems like Fredericksburg is more of a breakfast and lunch type place, early dinner if you could. But yeah, we didn't bring enough food, so our only option was Whataburger. We ordered it the first time, and then the Uber ended up canceling on us, and we had to get another Uber driver to pick it up. And finally, he got it, but the food did not come for like an hour and a half. And at this point, our food was so soggy, but I was so hungry that I was like, I just need to eat this right now, or I will literally pass out. I'm so hungry. So I got I think it was like a crispy chicken sandwich. I don't know why, but like when I get fast food, I just can't get myself to get red meat. I can do the chicken, but the red meat, I don't know what it is. I just for some reason I can't do it. So, I got the chicken sandwich, everyone else got the burgers. It was good, but it was a little soggy just from sitting in the thing for an hour and a half. But yeah, that was pretty much our Saturday night. Played board games the rest of the night. We had so much fun. Like, I wanna go to Fredericksburg every other week. Like, that it's just it's such a nice little relaxing getaway, and it's honestly so close. Like, if I could do just one night, I could. Like, we could've drove in on Saturday morning and then started our adventures and stayed till Sunday morning. But, so yeah, that was our weekend. Oh my goodness, you guys. So I'm just looking at my DMs right now, and one of you guys just DM'd me the cutest thing. Sam, you should do an advice session on the podcast with Nick because I feel like so many girls would have so many questions that girl and guy POV would benefit from. Plus, Nick seems down to earth and smart based on your last episode with him. No, he literally is. And you know what my problem is? And I don't think I talked about this last week, but last week when I went out to dinner with a few of my girlfriends, they just had to ask, like, oh, how is your relationship? Like, how's it going? And I just went on like a 10-minute tangent about just how much I love this man and how reassuring he is and how understanding and patient he is with me because I'm fucking crazy. Like, I am crazy. Don't get me wrong. Like, but not in like the crazy girlfriend way, just more in like the crazy, like timeline thing. Like, I'm like not OCD, but like I just like am so hands on in that sense. And like, he just understands me, he gets me. And I just appreciate him for that. And I felt bad talking about this to the girls because I was like, no, 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 like, I'm not here to, like, hype up my man and, like, just be googly eyes for him and, like, maybe make you guys feel bad, like, in your relationship. Like, I'm just genuinely, like, so happy right now in my relationship that, yeah, I am talking about it, but in my head, I'm like, "Ugh, Sam, shut up. Just shut it." So, yes, I would love to have Nick on the pod again. The only thing is he gets a little awkward. Like, I promise you, he's so outgoing, but the second the mic is in front of him, he freezes up a little bit, and sometimes I don't even know if he knows what he's saying, but I'll try. But anyways, okay, 10 essentials for a hot girl fall. Let's get right into it. I'm so excited about this because honestly, like, I feel like I'm doing all of these things, and I want you guys to do all these things too, and I don't wanna gatekeep around here, okay? So, the one thing that I have been starting to do or have noticed is number 1, off shoulder anything. We have our little tan still going on from summer, and we can take those little oily, shimmery products, put it on our collarbones. And you guys, off the shoulder things, dresses, shirts are so in right now. I'm obsessed with it. And I have honestly I think at this point, maybe 3 or 4 things that I've just recently bought, and I wanna wear them every weekend. Off the shoulder, anything is so cute, like, pop that tan out, it's not too hot yet or too cold yet to be wearing jackets or long sleeves, and we can still show a little bit of skin, so getting those off the shoulder tops is perfect. You can get a lot of them on Amazon. There's so many skim dupes or just, like, little brands out there. I'll put a bunch on my Amazon storefront for you guys, honestly, if you need it. But yeah. And then number 2 is going to be Moxi or BBL laser treatment, okay? I just did this and I have to say, yes, it's pricey, but is it worth it? 1000%. I used to do a facial every other month thinking that that was going to help get rid of my sun damage, my discoloration, redness, whatever it was. But realistically, it's not. Like, the laser treatment, one treatment, the amount of results that I've seen so far just from one, and keep in mind, guys, in 4 weeks, I'm going back for a second treatment. All that sun damage was lifted from beneath my skin and removed. I am Irish, I am Italian, I am going to naturally have freckles and spots on my face, so I'm not gonna be able to get rid of all of it, but the amount of discoloration that I didn't even notice that I had on my face was actually insane. Now knowing that I got the Moxi laser, and my skin is so much clearer. So, the reason I think you should do it now is because summer ended, we're no longer really in the sun, we're not tanning, and when you get it done, you can't be in the sun really. So, let's get rid of all that sun damage that we brought to our face and our skin from this summer. Get rid of it and show off that glowy, beautiful skin that's underneath all that sun damage. Moxi laser or BBL laser, both are gonna be great. I did the Moxi laser first round, and then my next round, we're doing Moxi laser and BBL together. You can do them both at the same time. And we're upping the laser because for my first treatment, they were like, let's do it a little bit lower just to see how your skin reacts to it. And you guys, oh my God, I'm like, I just know my second treatment is going to be like the most insane thing ever. So make sure you're following my Instagram for the updates on that as well, because I've been posting in a highlight my Moxie laser treatment, like day by day results. So yeah. Number 3 is going to be tiny little sneakers. Enough of the chunky sneakers, okay? I have a bunch of Steve Madden sneakers. I love them. I got the cheetah print ones. I got some metallic pair, a green pair, a white pair. But the chunky sneakers out. I just for some reason don't feel very feminine or girly when I'm wearing chunky sneakers. I like the really flat ones, the low to the ground, not a lot of sole on them, basically feeling like I'm not wearing anything at all. My Steve Madden ones are my favorite. I also like the Madden Girl pairs, and then I have a pair of Pumas, and obviously this Adidas brand. I can't remember the ones off the top of my head, but those sneakers, that I feel like truly they're gonna last a very long time, and I'm gonna wear them every year. So definitely consider getting some tiny sneakers, not the chunky ones. Number 4, fall produce. I just went grocery shopping for the first time and got a lot of fall produce. We got some squash right now, apples, sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts, beets, cranberries, pears, pomegranates. Okay. Take advantage of all the produce that is in right now. It's fresh, it's delicious. Okay. Any excuse to be eating whole foods, go with the season, go with the produce that's in right now. Because I think it's very important that in every single meal, I'm saying this and I believe it, every single meal should have a veggie in it. My oatmeal every morning, I put some shredded zucchini in there. And then lunch and dinner, obviously, super easy to throw a veggie in there. But I think it's important. Whole foods. We already went on this tangent about the carnivore diet and all that. Make sure you're eating whole foods throughout the day. Super important. Number 6. Oh, sorry, number 5. Number 5, how to do your hair. Learn how to do your hair, ladies, okay? This time of year, we're wearing sweaters, chunky items, different types of things. So, with that being said, we need to learn how to do our hair in different ways because you can't be wearing a turtleneck sweater. I mean, you can, but I think personally, if you're wearing a turtleneck sweater or anything chunky, it's gonna look better if you have your hair up. So, what I've been doing is even if I'm not going anywhere, I've been just wearing a hairstyle that challenges me to get good at and do. You guys know I've been posting that updo bun with that bun hair extension that I got. And now that I've mastered that and I know how to do it, I'm moving on to the next. I'm trying to find something else that I can learn, improve with. Learning how to do hair, if it's out of your comfort zone, try to learn it. Try to do it because honestly, if anything, hair does really create the outfit. I'll say it. I will say it. You don't even need to really wear makeup, but your hair makes or breaks an outfit, in my opinion. I'm gonna be honest. Like the off the shoulder tops, hair up. I'm saying it. Or the one shoulder tops, hair's gotta be up. Like you wanna show off those collarbones, you wanna, really show the emphasis on the top. Like I'm saying it right now. Learn how to do hairstyles, challenge yourself, even if you're not going anywhere crazy, just do it. Because you're gonna get better at it because you don't wanna wait until you're actually going out for the night to learn how to do it. Because what if you, 1, can't even figure it out? 2, it takes you like 3 hours to get your hair in that updo. Like, learn how to do these hairstyles outside of the actual weekend or event that you have to go to. Number 6, still kind of has to do with hair, I guess, is laser hair removal. Okay. Start it back up, ladies. I stopped doing laser hair removal for the summer because, you're not allowed to do any type of laser hair removal when you have sun exposure. And now that we don't really have that anymore, laser hair removal, by the time summer rolls around, you will not have any hair on whatever area you're doing it on, okay? Guys, I hardly shave my Brazilian area anymore. I go to Sev Laser, it's $50 for the Brazilian, and I think I went for a little over 8 months consistently, and I wish I could show you, but obviously I can't. My Brazilian area, the hair hardly grows in, and if it does, it's a little bit splotchy, and it's like peach fuzz. It's, like, hardly there. It's actually insane, and it's so worth it, like, $50. Oh, and not to mention, I would go every 8 weeks. I wouldn't even go, like, every 3 or 4 weeks like you need to go when you're getting waxing. With laser, I built up the tolerance where I only needed to go every 8 weeks. So, think about that, $50 every 8 weeks. I think it's worth it. You wanna be smooth like a baby's bottom coming around summertime? Get into that laser hair removal for fall. You're gonna be smooth, you're gonna be great, it's gonna be awesome. Number 7, cup of bone broth every morning. Nice warm cup of bone broth. There's a few ways you can warm it up. Obviously, I'm lazy. I put it in the microwave, but you can use a tea kettle, use whatever you want. And not only is bone broth so beneficial for you for all not only the collagen, but also you are going to be waiting off having a coffee. The reason I have it first thing in the morning is because you don't want to be having a coffee on an empty stomach. When I first wake up in the morning, sorry, I hate to say it, I'm not starving. I'm not hungry, so I'm not having breakfast right away. Like I got other things I need to do, like my skincare, taking care of my dogs, all that stuff. But the one thing I will do right away is I will go downstairs, let my dogs outside, and warm up a cup of bone broth and drink that while I'm doing everything else. Because I'm holding off having a coffee. When you wait off to have your coffee, it's honestly crucial because your body your cortisol needs time to spike in the morning. And caffeine is going to interfere with that if you are gonna have caffeine right away. That's not gonna happen. So, waiting off having coffee, not only you are waiting off from, having that coffee and having that midday crash. If you have coffee at 8 AM, you're gonna have a midday crash at, like, 12. But if you're gonna wait until I have a cup of coffee until, like, 10 AM, you won't really have a midday crash. It helps so much with your natural energy not having caffeine first thing in the morning. So, for me, having bone broth, helping my hormones not only through having a healthy gut. Happy gut equals happy hormones. That's one thing that I've incorporated ever since getting off birth control is drinking bone broth on a daily basis every morning. So I think fall is a perfect time to get into it. Warm cup of bone broth, so good. I get mine from Trader Joe's. I get their chicken broth. It's like a little like cardboard box, 2 servings, 10 grams of protein, not to mention collagen. Like it's perfect. So definitely recommend getting into bone broth starting now. Next up is number 8, protein focused breakfast. Ladies, where's the excuse? Is there any type of excuse that you're not having a protein filled breakfast? Truthfully, breakfast is the easiest way to get 30 grams of protein in. Eggs, steak, scoop of protein into your oats, yogurt. Like there are so many different ways you can eat high protein breakfast. 30 grams of protein. I'm saying that right now. 30 grams of protein, nothing less. You can make it happen, I promise you. You got bacon, sausage, slices of ham, like literally anything you want. Be creative with it. Okay? 30 grams of protein. I'm saying it right now. No excuse to be having a breakfast that doesn't have protein in it. It's gonna set you up for success throughout the rest of the day and really kickstart that hunger for you. And you're gonna feel great. Number 9, hot girl yoga classes. I know we used to say hot girl walks, but guess what? You know what's hot? Taking care of your flexibility and your recovery. That's hot. That is so hot. And with fall, it's going to get a little colder. We're not going to have as much motivation to go to the gym. That's fine. Just go to yoga. You can go to a 45-minute class or just a 60-minute class. You're working on your flexibility, your recovery, your mind. You are really just focusing in 60 minutes, not thinking about anything else, just other than being present with your workout. And it's hot. You're sweating from minimal movement. I will say it's humbling as fuck when you first start going, though. Like, I was humbled. Like, those movements are hard. But I do think we should all collectively get into yoga going into this year, end of this year. I love going to Studio 3 here in Austin, Texas. They have a membership you can do, or you can just book the classes on ClassPass. If you end up going to Studio 3 and you live in Austin and you see me at the classes on Wednesdays, please say hi. Like, please, I beg you. Um, and then lastly, number 10 is to be selfish and remove yourself from any type of drama. There is nothing more rewarding, not even rewarding, but like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I have just felt so good removing myself from drama and really just focusing on me, my success financially, mentally, physically, and being selfish. I'm putting myself first. My mental health is so important right now. My relationship is much more important than any silly little drama. So remove yourself from all that unneeded drama. If it does involve you, doesn't involve you, you're hearing about it way too much, like it really does play a huge role in your mental health, whether you like to believe it or not. So be selfish, take it the back seat. If you feel like you get caught having a conversation with a group of people or anyone and it's drama focused, shit talking focused, just remove yourself. Remove yourself. It feels so good. Feels so good. All right. So yeah. And I guess that's my 10 essentials for a hot girl fall. And I do want to follow up actually on last week's episode where I kind of talked to you guys about my mental health, how I've been doing. And I will say I am doing much, 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 much better. There's a few things that I've done to be proactive with how I've been feeling. First one, I know I mentioned to you guys about how I needed to take a step back from logging onto the podcast Instagram and seeing all the hate that I've been getting. So, thank you to a few of you guys letting me know some referrals on some websites to use. Instead of having to hire a manager, there are these amazing tools out there that you can use. One of them is called Metric Cool. And all you got to do is just sign up and upload the content that you want, and that content will automatically be scheduled to be posted on every single platform all at once. So, all my reels, I put them onto that platform and they're scheduled to be posted on it as an Instagram reel, a TikTok, a YouTube short, and I don't even have to log on to the apps. Do you know how amazing that is as a content creator? And I'm sure there are probably so many other creators out there that may or may not be listening to this right now, and they understand the struggle of logging onto social media and just seeing a bunch of hate and negative comments. And, maybe you're struggling already as is and you see that shit. It's hard, it's fucking taxing. And so, honestly, this week, not logging on at all to that account has been such a relief and it's helped me a lot already. So, that has been great. If anyone needs that, that's a good resource out there. The next thing that I've done is um just I can even thank my boyfriend for this, but just like not like caring. I've like I said last week with like the way maybe I react to things or the way I think about things, just wait. Wait, wait, wait. Take a deep breath, hold it out for like 90 seconds and then respond. Think about it. How do you actually feel about it now? Are you still as angry or emotional as you were? No? Good, because that you shouldn't. And on top of that, like thinking about the positive out of that bad outcome? So, I'm trying to think of an example. Just anything that bad that happens to you, think about the positive that comes out of it. Oh, like I can't even off the top of my head think about something. But yeah, I'm just trying to very much stay positive and think about the positive things in my life and the success that I've had in my life. That's all that matters. And I have a lot of cool, exciting things coming up, honestly. I'm going to Charleston in the next 2 weeks to tour some houses to look at potential property investments, which is really exciting. I need just another like little thing to be passionate about and looking forward to. Um, so yeah, this will be another fun journey for myself is doing that. I have a realtor out there. She's awesome. She's also a content creator, which is fun. Um, so I might go out there for 2 nights by myself. Nick would stay here and watch the dogs, and I'll go touring. I'll rent a car and explore a lot more areas in Charleston that I didn't get the opportunity to see while I was there. And I mean, I was there last month, but even now it's cooled down a bit. So being able to just be there during the fall and see all the greenery and all the gorgeous, you know, Halloween decorations and fall decorations, like I'm excited to get over there and just see what that's like. And yeah, we got a lot to look forward to. This I two next 2 weekends is Halloween, and then my parents are coming to town. Nick's parents are also coming to town. 2 different weekends, not at the same time, unfortunately. And then what else do we got? Nick's cousins are coming to town. They're staying at my place. And yeah, a few other things. But that's about it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe next week I'll get Nick on. That would be exciting. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.